Hey, hi, welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for interacting a lot in the previous video. I think it was probably very informative, as people did say. But anyway, for people that do not know me, for those who are new on this channel, because I'm also known as Ntariwana. Please just follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @Ntariwana. So in today's topic, what we're going to talk about, it's very interesting because wow, it's actually something that actually affects your the quality of your life at work. So we're going to talk about motivation in terms of the Herzberg theory, why sometimes you feel motivated, why sometimes you feel not motivated. I think this topic of motivation is very, very wide, So if you are interested in this video, please stay tuned. So guys, I'm going to be talking about motivation, yes, as I did mention, and we'll be talking about hygiene factors. So Herzberg actually identifies two factors that actually play a huge role on someone's motivation. So in today's video, I'll be talking about only one factor, and then the following video I'll be talking about the second factor. So he identified two factors, which are the hygiene factors and also the motivation factors. Also, when we talk about the motivators, we talk about factors that really encourage you to be motivated at work. And then we have the hygiene factors. The hygiene factors don't necessarily encourage you to be motivated at work. But the thing about hygiene factors is that if they're absent at your work organization, then you are totally bound to be very demotivated. Basically, the hygiene factors, I'm going to be talking about 6 or 7 things that actually affect your motivation at work. And it's very interesting because I never thought, I thought of them in that way until I got to be exposed to the course that I'm doing now. So there are about 6 to 7 factors that have been identified as hygiene factors. So those are like your policies. Every organization is supposed to have a policy, supposed to have procedures that guide them, how it works. I mean, if you work in an organization where you don't know what are you working towards, what are the goals, what is the mission statement, what actually guides me if I do get sexually harassed in this organization, is there any grievance policy, is there a smoking policy? You want an organization that is organized. When everything is just cluttered, it can actually affect your motivation at work, and you feel like, no, the organization that I'm working for, it's really not serious. So every individual, well, at least a large number or a huge percentage of people or employees, they want to be working in a very organized organization. The second point will be supervision. Every person, we need to be guided somehow. You need that person that of which they will let you know that no, you're doing okay or you're not doing all right. This is why we'll be having like your performance management, your performance appraisals, where it's led by your supervisor. It's just that someone may say, no, but I don't have a good relationship with my supervisor, which is also the next point, where the relationship with your peers, your supervisor, your manager, it's very important. When the relationship, which is the third point now, when the relationship is not in good terms, trust me, you are bound not to be motivated at work. You can work in this amazing organization, but if your relationship with them is not good, because remember, every department, we are all dependent on one another. So if you're not okay with someone in procurement, when you have to buy something, you're just stranded, and already that just pulls you down. It just breaks your nerves, and you're just like, you know what, I don't like this company. When your relationship is not good with your peers or your supervisor, it makes it so hard for you to actually enjoy your work. You feel very stressed. You feel like nobody likes you. You feel like maybe there's something that is lacking in you. You end up even belittling yourself, like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, am I even capable? Or you end up actually blaming people, while in actual fact sometimes you find that you're the one with the problem, but then you actually just end up blaming people for how they're treating you. So let's mend our relationships at work, and you'll see that it can actually play a huge role in being motivated to work. Another one, of course, it's salary. But the reason salary it's a hygiene factor, it's because today you can earn, like, let's say 5,000 rand, and you find that you're very, very motivated. And even if your salary gets increased by 1,000 rand, yes, you'll get motivated, but that doesn't really mean if it was 5,000 rand, we're still not going to be motivated. So it's very important to understand that salary or money increment or salary increment, it's a short-term motivator. Today you earn 5,000 rand, next week you want 6,000 rand, the following week you're gonna feel like, no, the 6,000 rand, it's not enough for me, I need more money. And remember that our salary increase is based on such a small percentage. You can find that the next year when your salary is increased, it's just increased by 500 rand or even 400 or 300 rand. So it's not a lot of money, and you don't even see it. That's how much salary or money, that's why it's being categorized as being a short-term motivator. It is never going to be a long-term motivator, because money is never enough. The other one, which is very important, it's working conditions. The working conditions at your organization need to be very good for you to be motivated. If the work conditions are just chaos, like let's talk about safety, for instance. If safety is being compromised at your work organization, if the ergonomics part of the office space is being compromised, you can find that this actually triggers your motivation. You get very demotivated and very quickly. I mean, first of all, you can't be sitting on a chair that doesn't have a backrest. If you sit on a chair that doesn't have a backrest, obviously you'll get some pain on your back, and then there'll be some strain on your neck, and then you just develop dissatisfaction at work. You get sick. Obviously, someone who's sick, they are not motivated in their work organization. They become very less motivated. So it's very important for the organization to actually put in place such things that we call hygiene factors, that some people may think, no, this is just something minor. We're all about making money. You need to make the environment in which people work in to be very comfortable for them. First of all, you can't expect me to be on my computer in an office that doesn't have a lighting. If there's no light, I won't be able to work. How do you expect me to be effective? My eyes can't actually function when the lighting is not enough. I mean, you guys can't even see my videos clearly if the lighting is not good. The environment that I'm creating for you guys, it needs to be suitable for you to be able to watch my videos. So the same thing with wherever that you're working, the conditions need to be good for you to be motivated. But remember that not everything will be perfect, but we just say at least 80% of these hygiene factors, they must be in place, because they get adjusted time and again. If the aircon is not working at your office, I mean, how will you work in an office that is too hot? How will you work in an office that is too cold? Those are factors that we take for granted, but trust me, they have such a huge impact on your motivation. Another example in terms of the work environment when it's not safe. If you could see in the news, like lately when we're told in the news, nurses are striking because there's no personal protective equipment. So when you feel like your life is in danger, when you feel like, oh my God, the working environment that I'm in, other people can't function even an open plan kind of organization, and they feel kind of demotivated in a way. So this is why it's very important to actually, for organization to actually involve industrial psychologists, so that they can advise them on how also the plan of the building should be like. What type of work is this? Is it about team building? Is it about where we all interact with one another? Then we can say, okay, go for an open plan. But if it's about like lawyers, like your law firm, you can't have like an open plan. People want to concentrate, people want to be reading, people need to rest sometimes you just need your own space. You don't need people, you don't need any kind of noise. So it's very, very important to actually involve industrial psychologists, because these things, they do play a huge role, guys. They do play a huge role. Even painting, when painting is not white and you're working in obviously when you have a dark paint in your work area, it's going to affect the lighting in the room. So things such as painting, we need to take cognizant of, so that we don't find ourselves having people complaining about their eyes being painful, or having people complaining about a less efficient light. So yeah, we want people to be proactive, we want people to be excited about their job. Another thing that actually motivates you is the status that you're in, right? Which is one of the hygiene factors. Your work should be meaningful to you. If you're working in an organization and you feel like, oh my god, I'm just working just to earn a salary, already just saying I'm working just to earn a salary, it says no, this thing, it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not even motivated to make any sales for this company. I'm not motivated to impress my manager or my supervisor. Like literally, I don't care what happens, I just want money. That's not how it works, honey. That's not how it works. It needs to be meaningful to you. It needs to give you fulfillment when you know that you've completed a certain task and your manager is happy about the task that you do. This is why it's always important for managers or your supervisors to always say thank you, because a thank you goes a long way. It plays, but then that is not a hygiene factor. That one, because it's now personal, it's now behavioral, it's now something that an individual decides to do or not to do. So that one, it's one of the motivation factors, of which we'll discuss in our next video. But then, like I'm saying, if your job doesn't give you that satisfaction, your job doesn't mean anything, doesn't give you fulfillment, literally you can't go any further with your work. It needs to give you that fulfillment. So last but not least, we have security. At the back of your mind, when you know that I know, like, my job is secure. For instance, right now a lot of people are gonna go through so much stress. They're gonna be very demotivated because they're not sure, what does this COVID-19 come with? Like, my job is not guaranteed to be there anymore, you know, especially because we've seen our sisters and our brothers being retrenched from work, you know what I mean? So such things, they actually do bring some kind of downfall to our hearts and to our minds, that oh my god, what if I'm gonna lose my job? Basically everyone, they want to be secure, and other people, and in most cases where people feel like, no, you know what, I feel like my job is not secure, is when someone is given a contract and it's being renewed on monthly basis. Such people are experiencing such a dilemma. I'll call it a dilemma. I think it's just playing with someone's emotions, and it just creates so much chaos in their minds, and they feel like, oh my god, I should be looking for other things to be for a certain job. Like during even working hours, they'd rather be applying for another job than to be working on or concentrating on the job that they're being hired for. So yeah, when you feel like, no, my job is not secure in this, it's not secure here, you are most likely to be demotivated. But otherwise, guys, those are the issues that we're talking about. If you loved this video, if you feel like the points that I've talked about, they actually apply, or they have applied in your situation, please tell us, and how you were able to get motivated all over again. Because being demotivated at work, guys, is just chaos. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching and hope to see you in my next video. Please don't forget to like, comment. Please do comment. I know I'll be getting comments on Instagram page. Please just comment here so that people can see exactly, so that we interact all together. Please comment down below, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, guys. I love you so much and thank you so much for watching. Bye.